Good morning to everyone. Happy Conference Sunday. So I thought I'd just come on here and chat away if anybody was interested in chatting about anything. Just got finished working with work week. Worked with a slight cold, still finishing it off. But, well, my TV's going nuts. So forgive me while I mute it. I don't know why I did that. But you shouldn't have done that. But it did. Oh well. So I'm just here, just hanging out. If anybody wanted to chat, anybody joins today, I know it's Sunday, it's early. If not, no worries. Anybody had any questions about the land barge? I have talked with Marty, and he invited me and Dave to come on to discuss the land barge. And that won't be this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, I believe the 6th of February. So if anybody's interested in that, um, come join us. We'll discuss the type of models that are allowed, the type that are not, um, some added things to it. So we're just getting everything covered early so that we are in good shape to do what we need to do to have everybody understand a little bit better. Because a lot of times it gets lost in translation what is allowed and stuff. And I want to make sure we're covered. But if you do find obviously, there was one that Marty's brother uh, forwarded it to me, Dusty. It was the Ford Starliner, and I didn't think it did race, but it did. And he pulled up the photos, and sure enough, that was a NASCAR race during that time, so that's allowed. So I was corrected on that. So sometimes you run into that. But if you have a photo of the car, or actually, record of it that it raced through 59 to 64, then yeah, of course you could use that car or that model. So we're going to cover a lot of that too, the different types of models that are available, and what works and what doesn't. It's all really cool. As you can see on the bench there, I'm working on the Pontiac Catalina, and I'm doing the Junior Johnson Holly Farms Pontiac. It was a white one with black accents on it, and I have decals for that. And I'm gonna do a video part 2 on mounting the body and then painting it. I got a new paint booth, and I'm looking forward to using it. It is a waterfall paint booth. I got everything kind of set up in the garage now for painting. I was using the shed, but that's becoming a little bit too not a great, not as clean as saying the garage is cleaner, but the shed will be more dustier than the garage would be. So at least I got the waterfall effect to help pull in, whatever paint stuff that goes in there or whatnot. But it'll be pretty interesting. So looking forward to that. But again, Sunday morning, I'm sure nobody's on, but I thought I'd record this and just happy Sunday. Probably early for most people since it's like really early, and I'm sure nobody wants to be doing how would you say getting up this early. So, but anyways, anybody's out there or anybody joins, come chat with me. I have 3 watching, so we got 3 lurkers here. So I don't know if somebody's just brushing through or just looking at the camera angles that I have all over the place. That's what I love about an eCam. So I have my phone, as you can see right there, that connects to eCam because I have an iPhone, and you're able to use that as a broadcasting tool, which is cool. And then I have 3 different webcams around the track, and then I have the iMac cam, which is right in front of me, right here. So it's pretty cool. You could do a lot of different things. Ecams is not cheap, but I've looked at it. Like I've said, I've looked at every other alternatives, and this is the best one because all the other ones I've tried, they're just terrible. I don't like StreamYard. It limits. I don't like the programming in it. I tried 2 other ones that sucked. And there's OBS. So OBS would probably work with Mac here, but I use it downstairs more for the laptop. And Area 51 Raceway is not really being used that much because it's going to go to a wood track. And I'll be doing some videos for Kevin at Racetrack Scenics, and he's going to start building my track Tuesday. So maybe I'll do a live or I'll do a video, it depends. But we're going to be showcasing his track building skills. And this is going to be the modular track where you put it together at home and paint it and then route it, braid it yourself. So it'll be a really good series of videos I'll be doing for him. And looking forward to taking the plastic off and making it all wood. I'll probably retain all my digital stuff. I'm just going to keep it and box it. I have no intention of selling it. So um, I'm just going to hold on to it as a, just in case, you never know. But, and the Omni box, of course. I'm going to hold on to that too. I don't have no intentions of selling that. I paid a lot for that. So if I try and sell it, nobody's going to pay for what I got for it. So, but anyways, otherwise, nothing else going on. I see everybody is still trying to get up early. So I think I'll just run some cars. Let me clean my track. I use a tack cloth to clean my track. See how dusty it'll get after sitting. That's just normal dust in the house. Hey, Cyberg, how you doing? Good morning. I'm just fiddling around here. Sure, everybody's trying to wake up. It's Championship Conference Sunday. We got 4 teams left to see who goes to the Super Bowl. What are you up to, man? Anything new and exciting for you in the slot car world? I'm looking forward to doing some more of the Land Barge videos for everybody, for the guys who want to get into it. Bit more break. New work schedule. Can't sleep past 6. Oh shit! Are you working like a graveyard or something, man? Ugh. God, I'm glad I'm out of those days of working weird hours. I work I work early in the morning though, but I only work 3 days a week, so I work 4 a.m. to 4:30 in the afternoon. So it's a tough schedule, but uh, we work 36 but get paid 40. So we have 4 days off. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm just kind of burnt out when I get home, depending on the workload, and I just come home, eat, sleep, repeat until Sunday morning. And then I can do what I want to do. Honeydew list and, the house and slot car stuff. So yeah, I working weird schedules is strange, especially for working like graveyard hours and then you can't get used to that and, trying to sleep. That's hard. So I feel for you there. Ooh. Oh, East time from Denver. Oh, okay. I got you. Are you like traveling for work is what you do or? Don't mind me, I'm just going through each lane here and I clean the track with my tack cloth. Now I'm just kind of like cleaning the braids with the inox. Morning, Tad. Hey, Tad. It'll be in the mail this week, so I'll let you know. I'll message you on your phone when I get the tracking number. So I'm gonna go tomorrow and send this out. Tomorrow, Tuesday, should be tomorrow. I'm trying to clean my braids here. Still Monday to Friday, but weekends are messed up. I gotcha. Cyber. Hey, Harry, how you doing? I'm just fiddling here. No problem. Hey, good morning, John. How you doing today? You gonna be building a land barge, John? You built a showdown car, so what are your plans? You could use the H&R chassis too if you want to take a break from scratch building and pass on the brass, or go for it. Yes, new track set up and ready to practice. uh, cool. Work IT on finance firm following the stock trade for floor schedule. Oh, okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, John Tucci, you did really good on the showdown car. I mean, you could build a basic chassis for a showdown car. This one right here is really well balanced, believe it or not. Even though it sits high in the front, you can see how it goes around the track. It doesn't tip that much, and I'm really pushing it. And that's basically just a very basic chassis right there. So these right here are this pieces of brass are 8264, and that's really what I'm going to be using on the one I'm going to be scratch building in brass. Besides the H&R one, I'm sending two cars in, and with the guide tongue, this is a different guide tongue. Obviously, the real short one we had, you can see I had to space it out. But if you use the one from Slot Car Corner that they offer, the 2-inch guide tongue, should fit in there perfectly. And that's all you need, the inline part, and then making the pads. And that brass right there is pretty well balanced with this car. This car actually has a full interior, so it runs really good. So it'd be perfect to, try that setup if you want. Hey, Jim Anthony, how you doing? Geez, I'm running low on this, but this is the one I was talking about, 8264. That's what these are right here for those rails right here. One spot all the way down. Put your guide right here. Thank you, Harry. And then your pads for your body. You could put a full interior or a tray interior. This is pretty well balanced, this car, because it doesn't tip real easily, so it's got a good, nice bottom end. When you make like cars like this one right here in particular, this one is made with 8152, I think it is. This one's a little bit light on the bottom, so you'll have to add weight to this because this one's more tippy because obviously the chassis is a lot lighter because it's got part wire, as you can see there. And the guide tongue is really small. It's one that I made that I bent. So there's not much weight here. It's just this one will tip more. And if I put it on red lane, I think it's a little bit more wild to handle. You got to be more cautious around corners. You know what I mean? It's just like that. Few other things I'll need to do to it, though, I'm sure. But that car I've had for a while. I build 6 of these. Harry has one that I gave him as a gift. It's the Belvedere one, which is the orange one. And, that one's a cool car. I knew he loved that car when he saw it. So, and as you can see how easy it tips because it needs weight. So you got to keep that in fact. Not always lighter is better because you will run into that where it'll be too light and then it's too top heavy with such a big car, and then it'll tip like that. An example of what I mean, here's the Galaxy. This is a Fred Lorenzen Galaxy. You can see how I did this one with that. This is actually a commercial tongue that I had. So this would be the same as the other Slot Car Corner guide tongue that we have. The 2-inch wide one would fit in here perfectly. And that's all it is, 8264. This guide tongue, some tubes to run your wires, and then the pads. And that's it. It's not really hard to build a Land Barge. And this one right here is a little bit more better in handling. These ones have the older motor too, so this is the old Jaws motor in here. So I would have to change this motor if I wanted to enter this car. But there you have it. Just that. Morning, Chris. Gosh, I'm trying to see how I could pronounce your name without screwing it up, because I know how I know it feels to screw up a last name, because mine is with a P also. Patskowski. I hope I said that right. Sorry if I screwed that up for you there. But good morning to you, sir. Thanks for joining us. So we're just talking whatever. Land barges or how would you say even football if you want a little bit. See who's gonna win. Who thinks gonna win the AFC conference? Throw a team out there. I'm curious to see what everybody's pick is. I say the Chiefs. Reason why? Because I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler fan and I cannot stand the Baltimore Ravens. I'm sure they cannot stand. Oh, I did say it perfect. Good. I'm pretty sure they cannot stand the Steelers as well. To me, the Baltimore Ravens are the redressed Browns. That's all they are. So, but whatever. uh, I'll take Kansas City for the AFC. For the NFC, I was born in San Francisco in the Presidio, so I'm not really a 49ers fan. I know people are probably going, "What?" Uh, Being born and raised in California most of my life, with the exception of coming here in 2017, I'm pretty much North Carolinian. Um, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'd like to see the Lions win because they haven't been there, but we'll have to see. 49ers are a tough team, but I'm sure John Albright would be trying to banhammer me when I said that about the Niners. So because of course he's from San Francisco, he's a big Niners fan. So of all my family, they're pretty much Niner fans. My uncle, I remember he had a in the '70s. I don't know if you remember the team vans. So there was customized vans that you could get the team logos of your favorite NFL team. Well, he had a 49ers one, and I remember that one. It was a Dodge van. It was gold. It had the Niners emblem, and that was a big thing back then in the late '70s and early '80s. He had that, but we'll have to see. So be interesting to see it. I only watch it if it's free because I ain't paying for no freaking app to watch the damn conference games. So, morning, Donald Barker. How you doing? Quite a few people here. Thanks for joining me. Anybody have any questions on anything? I'm just fiddling around at the workbench here. You can see got the Catalina. George, can you show the red Land Barge you had out the other day? It was like a Dodge. Yeah. So that is the Dodge 300, the one that's a super stock. It's called. You could use that model kit because they do use something similar to that. I would say it was the Polara. Kind of looks like that. So Harry and I have, and David said that that model is acceptable, but I'll show it to you. Hold on. That's this one right here. So this one is right here. So let's get the old Jaws motor in it. This is a different mounting system I used. But yeah, yep, the Pontiac. Yeah, Pontiac's another one. Yep, here he knows. So you have the Chevrolet Impala. The Ford Thunderbird is 59 through 1960. I think they raced that one. You can see if you guys look up old YouTube videos like the Southern 500 classic NASCAR races from 59 to 64. The cars are in there. This car is in there. You could see it. So I had to make sure. One car that got me surprised that I wasn't sure of, and I know Harry has a book on NASCAR, which I need to ask Harry where he got that book. I think he get it from. Cool. I think you get it from Amazon, which has a list of cars that were raced in. The Pontiac Catalina, what I said, the Chevrolet Impala, the uh, the Ford Starliner was one, and we'll also want to do. I don't know, Harry. We're gonna throw in the zipper tops, right? I don't know if you guys look up the zipper tops. So those are the convertibles. They did race convertibles, and we want to put that in the mix. See if somebody could do a convertible. I'm gonna try and do one if I can, if I have enough time. What else? Mercury Marauder is one. I have this one right here. The pink one's a Mercury Marauder. We'll go through all the kits on see if I can gather all the kits together and go through it with Marty's live. So if people have questions on that, because obviously, big cars like Cadillacs and Chrysler New Yorkers, those were never raced. So you want to use, like I said, common sense as your guide. Always look at, old YouTube videos of cars that raced during that era. If you find one and it did race, then yeah, it's accepted. But obviously, yeah, no problem. I know. I forgot about it too. So, but include the zipper tops, they call them, which were the convertibles, which they did race some convertibles in that era. So they had roll bars. They're pretty cool looking. A little bit of a challenge. So if anybody kid, wants to cut up a model, obviously you'd have to see if you got a. I think Galaxy was one of them. You'd have to cut the top off here and cut the roof off and make a roll bar and stuff. But they did race. So you just make a like a tonneau top or a tonneau cover. Oh, no problem. I know you have the photos of it and stuff. So, but yep. Anybody else has any questions on anything? Welcome to. Yep, we have 6 months. There's plenty of time. Remember that. That's why I'm doing all this early. So we gather more interest, especially with a beginner level person who's really not sure of scratch building, which is fine. That's why we're including that H&R chassis. And that H&R chassis is great. Matter of fact, this is. So I already did a video on this on the first part. You can see this one's got all the stuff installed in it. Just the tires are not true. That's the only deal. So we'll run it. All right, so we'll run the. See, it runs good with not even the tires screwed. You got yourself a fast chassis. I mean, right off the bat. Oh, look at that! Right into the freaking red lane. Pretty cool. Press the brakes down more. That's pretty damn fast for just the chassis. So, see, you guys, it's all you have to do is concentrate on the modeling part. So, and then I'll show how to mount the body on this. It's pretty easy. So, yeah, yeah, that is it. I cannot solder. No excuse, chassis. Hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, and this is right. We picked this particular chassis because the wheels are the same as the CBD design wheels, so the 1650s. And if you don't want to, invest in just getting wheels, you could use the inserts to cover those up because these are pretty deep. And it's a direct fit. So this is a 28 125 ball gauge tire, or you could put 26 125. Thing is, if you do use a 26 125, remember 26 millimeters is the minimum tire diameter, and the thing is you don't want it too low because it has to be 3/32 from the track, or 1/8 being max. And the problem is this drops down, so I think a 26 would be a little bit kind of short, so you have to be careful. That's why I'm using the 28 125 because it will sit it a little higher. But this this chassis, once we get it the tires trued, and we'll set the body on this, and we'll use the same method that Harry did. He did a video on revisiting this H&R chassis, and he shows you how you mount the body, and it's really easy. It's a compression fitting. It has Velcro tabs and how to mark it. I'll show that. It's really easy. And you get popsicle sticks to fit the body, just like with the other builds I do with 132nd. I use the piece of wood and stuff, but it's not very hard. And this chassis is great. The gear on this is fantastic. They've improved the gear. The old gears on this were terrible. Always had to change it out. But once you, this one right here is just nice. My MT NASCAR, it's coming along good. I just have to paint it. I could show you that. Hold on a second. All right. So, I have my paint here. I have to paint it. There's my chassis. I just need to, I'd just say, paint my body. The body's mounted. It runs really good. I'll put the body on this. It scoots really nicely. Here, put it on without a body and see how it moves. So, there you go. pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think Harry says it'll hunt. But I did the little also the detail on the tires, like I did the video on doing the NASCAR wheel and tire stuff. There's the body. It's already got the mounts on it. I just have to paint it. My selection of paints right there, as you can see, Createx. Yeah, that look is basically what Clay Kemp did. So Clay Kemp modeling, scale modeling, he's got some really good videos on how to detail stuff. He does a lot of static model stuff, but like this is for a 125th scale car I plan on building soon. But this is like the detail of kind of what he does on doing the tires and wheel. It looks pretty realistic more. But I use that little oil stained dust from Tamiya. It gives it that worn look or erased look. That's going to be a 125th scale NASCAR I'll be building. So, but yep. So I got a paint booth that I have in the garage now, and I'll be doing some painting this week. It's been rainy here, not too cold, but a little rainy. I moved everything to the garage as far as a brand new paint booth. I was painting in the shed, but I think the shed is just too dusty. Not that the garage is any better. Thank you, Harry. Appreciate that. Not that the garage is any better, but it is less dusty. But I got it in a spot along with all the other new cutting tools and polishing tools that I got, and sonic cleaner. So we'll step it up a little with painting a little bit easier. This the booth I got is called a waterfall curtain or water curtain booth. So what this is a do you use panel line paint? Yeah, Tad. So when you do the wheels, if you look at that video, it shows me doing it with panel line paint, like on the wheel itself. Yeah, that stuff's excellent. I highly recommend that because it really adds a nice level of detail to a lot of things, grills and stuff like that. Yeah, I would get some of that. It's fairly good products from Tamiya. So yep, Tamiya panel line exactly. Yeah, but if you guys haven't seen Clay Kemp's channel, he's got some really good stuff there. And Harry's done a few videos too. Yeah, it does. It flows real nicely. Once you hit it, it just runs there. And then you could dab it with a Q-tip if you put too much. It really works really nicely. And let me example panel light, which I don't. Let me see. I could do it on camera actually with one of these grills so you could see it. So here's grill. Here's the panel light, right? So I'm going to do it right here. It doesn't take much. A little dab will do you. There's an example. There you go. This camera ain't really. But that's basically what you do. It's just a small area. It looks like part of the grill, and then you could detail it more and then add a little bit more. If, say, it dries down and you need to add a little bit more, you could do that. I don't have my glasses, obviously. Let me do this a little bit better here. There you go. That looks a lot better. Very simple. That's a little bit better right there. And just let it dry. That's this stuff right here, guys. If you're interested, it says panel line accent. You get this from Amazon. And it comes in gray, light gray, and black. I don't think they have any other color but those. So I got all of them. But looks pretty good. I'll have to finish it later. To give that oil stain look too, like On the tires, there's this stuff as well. This is called the Tamiya Weathering Master. So it's like a makeup case. They have a oil stain, uh, burnt blue, and burnt red. So you can make like patina or rust or whatever weathering effect from the weather. But this is good stuff too from Amazon as well. So all those little details help when you brings the model out more of the details. So I'm gonna bark right into your comment. Hold on here. Thought I had my MT NASCAR ready to go until I sprayed the clear total crinkle effect into the paint remover went. um, so depending the clear, so in the clear, you have to be careful. Certain different brands of paint react differently to others, and then if you put too much clear, it gets hot, and that's what gives it the crinkle. Or I guess you're talking about crinkling your decals. I'm not sure what happened on, but you have to really make sure you do it lightly because what I do with, for example, what I do with decals, and I've learned to this over doing stuff. When I do decals on a car, say a resin one, I spray my Createx paint and all that stuff, and then what I do is after that has dried, I spray a coat of acrylic clear. Okay, cover it up. Okay, and then I add my decals, and then when my decals are dried, I spray another coat of acrylic clear. And that's to protect the decal from the solvent clear because the solvent clear is going to get hotter, and what it does is it reacts to the decal and causes it to wrinkle. So I use the acrylic as a protective barrier, and then you just start out really light with the clear, and then it comes out really nice. So I know I'm going to use a different type of clear that Dave recommended, and I have it, and you just you got to be a little bit careful with it. You can't go overboard with it, or it'll just turn to crinkle it up, the decals. But also you could get which is called orange peel as well. Yep, exactly. Try to have your body warmed up like you would paint it. It helps level the paint. That is correct right there. So right there was Harry's thing, which is very true. So I have a dehydrator, and so does Harry. So you can get a food dehydrator from Amazon. And what you do is you warm up your paint. So you can put it in a little container, put some hot water, get the clear and warm, and then you put your model in the dehydrator to get it warm. 100 degrees is it, Harry? 104 for like 10, 15 minutes. And you're getting the model warm because it's getting it, good temperature. And then when you have your paint warmed and shaked up, you pull your model out, coat it, and put it back in the dehydrator and let it dry. I don't know, 10 minutes, come back. You could do between coats, put it back in there, and repeat till you get your effect. But yeah, you need to warm it up. That's a great idea. I do that too. I warm the model up and I warm my paint up. So now, warming your paint up means just don't put it in the oven. Just put put it in a thing of warm water and put it in there, and it's fine. Yeah, 104. Yeah, and it says Tad saying, Don, do not do the old plastic spoon trick test for all your paint spoon. Yeah, that's a good one too. So if you're not familiar with paints and you use, say, like Tamiya is more sensitive to other clears. So I mean that's what I've learned. So you got to be careful with Tamiya. I would stick with what Tamiya brands. You can't really use like Rust-Oleum on Tamiya. They kind of react differently. But I would be cautious with that and test it on the spoon. That's excellent. Yeah, Anthony, I make my own panel line paint. Testers enamel black with a few drops of added thinner. Yep, that's basically what it is. You could do that too. That's fine. Whatever works to save money if you want to do it that way too. You can also use different colors too. You don't have to use black, so that makes it more. How'd you say? You can make different colors out of it by making your own. Not just only have to stick with black. You can make it from blue, red, or whatnot. So, great idea. Thank you for mentioning that, Jim. Appreciate that. Anyways. Like, any other questions or anything? Because it's now 9 o'clock. Breakfast is sounding good right now, so let me go have a piece of toast. Something light. I'm getting over being sick. Any more questions you can answer? Paint questions, whatever. Got a lot of veterans in here, so it's a good time to ask stuff if you're new. What's my favorite model glue? Huh. Uh, for like gluing stuff together in the car. Well, I'll use a little dab of super glue, and then I go over it with the Bob's uh epoxy. That's what I use. The epoxy, the 15-minute or 5 mix epoxy from what's it called uh Bob Smith's model something. It's the stuff I use. I airbrush and use nothing but nail polish and nail polish clear, completely system that is easy to use. Yeah, you could do that too. See, everybody has a way of doing things that's comfortable for them. That's a great way. I need to try that. I haven't tried anything like that. But I like using Createx paints. So Createx paints a water-based paint. Uh, they mix easy. They have components that you could make them they're like make them into urethane paints, so the paint is bendable, especially on plastics when it takes impacts. And then I use the clear from a can to finally give the final touch to it. But I like Createx paints because there's just a ton of color options. They're not cheap, but I mean they spray so nice and they're so forgiving. That's what I like about them. They're not a pain in the ass to deal with. Not saying other brands are, but I've just been sticking with that, which I probably need to go try other stuff. But I don't like having multiple companies of paints because then you start having too much stuff. So, but that's just me. But whatever you feel that is helpful and that's easier for you to paint stuff, then do it. It's the best way. Soccer Wild Man, how are you doing? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Should be fine in another 2 days. Still had to work while I was sick. I didn't want to take any PTO, but I wasn't sick enough to get everybody else sick. Somebody did that at work. They came to work sick and got the whole crew sick. So I was like, oh well. But it wasn't COVID because I took a test, so I was all negative. So it's all good. Uh, Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone to work. But I don't like using PTO for being sick. Sounds funny, but I don't. Yep, yep. Yeah, to add that, let me show you. This is the stuff I use. It's Bob Smith's. It says Anderson's because you could put stores could put their own brand on there, but this is the stuff I use. This stuff is real good stuff. It gets super hard in 15 minutes, and it hangs on really well. It does better than JB Weld. I was using JB Weld before, but then JB Weld tend to kind of, I don't know, kind of gives out. I've had a few of them do it, but this stuff is really good. So it's called Bob Smith's epoxy. You could get it from Hobby Lobby. I think they don't sell it anymore, but I'm sure if you go to Amazon, you could get it as well. Because somebody told me they don't sell it there anymore. But PTOs for slot cars, yeah. That's right. PTOs is for racing. As a matter of fact, PTO will be used in the summertime, and Harry knows what I'm talking about, so that's why I'm saving it up. I want to be able to go to Home Racing World in the summer, so we could do the event down there. So that's a little time there. But, yep, that's what I use. Super glue just to get it to stick on, and then this stuff to permanently put it on, because this stuff works great once it's on. But everybody has their choice of what they want for glue, so you pick what works best for you. Yes, sir. All right. All right, guys. I'll go ahead and end it here. I really don't have much else to chat about at the moment. I'm going to go and relax for the Sunday. I just thought I'd do a brief, I would just say, under an hour live. So Marty is going to be hosting Dave and myself February 6th for his live stream. I want to talk about the Land Barge series. So that's what we're going on for. And that's the only thing I want to discuss is that. So uh, anybody's interested in checking out his live on February 6th on Two Lines on Tuesday, Dave and I will be there, and we'll be doing that. George, how far along is your new track from Racetrack Scenic? So he starts. I mentioned that early. He starts building it this Tuesday, so I'm going to go over there. Uh, I gave the designer my layout that I currently have. I'm not changing the layout I have down in Area 51. It's going to stay the same. It's just going to be a wood road course because that is a road course downstairs, and it's just going to be wood, the surface. So he's starting Tuesday, so he's going to start cutting the MDF on the laser cutter. So hopefully Tuesday I should be able to be there. If I should be still in recovery mode, but I should be all right. So stay tuned for that. That's coming. It's just taking time. So, all right, guys. So thank you, Tad. Thanks for joining me. You guys, as always, take care. Have fun racing.